Good morning, everyone. Welcome to BYJU'S exam prep. My name is Alpa Sharma and this is our daily editorial analysis. Can you hear and see me clearly, everybody? Good morning. Very good morning. Good morning, Mahita, Ragini. Can you hear and see me clearly in the app? And Sakhi, Vishal, Devanshu, everyone. I hope I'm clearly visible and audible. I'm absolutely good, everyone. Thank you so much for asking. I hope all of you are doing absolutely great. Yes, clearly visible and audible to everybody. Now, again, I've done something today which is very unlikely of me. I've taken two articles, both from the Hindu, one from 24th of August, one from today, 24th of January. I'm so sorry. 24th of January and one from today, 25th of January. So I've taken two articles, one from yesterday and one from today. And that is what we're going to discuss in the class today. Why have I done that? I'll reveal the secret by the end of the class. Okay, so that's what we're going to do. But before we start off, let's quickly have a look at a few things. मैम वोकैबुलरी को स्ट्रॉन्ग बनाने के लिए कोई मेथड बता दो, मैं भूल जाती हूँ. Etymology and revision. These are the two things that will ensure that your vocabulary is good. But remember, always you need to be regular. You need to be consistent with vocabulary. Otherwise, you're going to forget them. All right. So Republic Day tomorrow. And on that occasion, we bring you flat 25% off on all our online classroom programs. So if you are willing to get mock tests, only classes, you can avail this 25% off. Use the code NATION25 and make sure you do it at the earliest because this sale wouldn't last forever. So that's the best time to enroll for all the courses that we have. What courses do we have currently running? The new batches. We have got one batch, batch 2 for people who are targeting MHCT, ALET, SLAT, BLAT and JAMIA. So these law entrance examinations beyond CLAT, they are a little different. You can enroll yourself for this batch if you are targeting these law entrance examinations. If you are targeting CLAT 22, we've got our first crash course that we've launched. You could enroll for this course as well if CLAT 22 is your target. And if you don't wish to study everything but wish to study only legal affairs and current events, then batch 2 of this booster course has been launched where Nivedita ma'am and Abhimanyu sir are going to teach you legal affairs and current events. Look no further, enroll yourself at the earliest for this batch because एक batch full हो चुका है, second भी बहुत जल्दी हो जाएगा. I am sure of that. अगर आप CLAT 2023 target कर रहे हो, we have a comprehensive course batch 7 for you, where I'll also be teaching along with Abhimanyu sir, Nivedita ma'am, Krishnendu sir, KD sir. So, jaldi se enroll kar lo. 23 ke liye aapke paas you've got only roughly 11, maybe lesser than 11 months left for your examination. The sooner you start, the better it is going to be for you. All right. Any more questions? Chitra, see, if I start talking about CLAT right now, it's going to go on and on for 2 hours and the whole idea of the class is going to be missed. I would recommend either you watch a few videos recorded by us on our channel or speak to our counselors on the number that's given below. Okay. But जो लोग इस ईयर मई में एग्जाम देंगे उस ईयर का करंट अफेयर्स कब का पढ़ना होगा? लास्ट 1 ईयर का. So June to April. वो current affairs आपको करना पड़ेगा for people who are sitting for May CLAT. Okay. All right. So I've got a quote of the day here where Sakhi says, always keep your eyes on the stars, but your feet on the ground. Yes, absolutely. And when you focus on good gets better. Yes. So make sure what your target is absolutely clear. Focus on that, and that's going to get better and better every day. All right. Okay. So I hope I have answered most of your questions. Ma'am, today in Hindu newspaper, there was a news that writes duties and constitution. So Ragini, I've taken one article on rights and duties of a constitution, but not from the text and context. I've taken it from the editorial page. So possibly that's going to help you with that text and context article as well. Okay. So that's what I'm going to discuss, Devyanshi, today. All right, let's see what are we going to do today. We've taken a quote of the day already. We'll revise 3 questions, 3 words from yesterday's class, the vocabulary that we did. Then we'll take 2 articles and do a detailed discussion on them. We'll check out the entire vocabulary from these articles. We'll memorize the vocabulary. And in the end, you're going to tell me the tone of the author for each article. Apart from the tone, you can write down the summary of each article under my video in the comment section. I'll be checking the summary. And after that, in the end, we're going to look at today's newspaper and see what are the important things that we need to study from the Indian Express and the Hindu. And I have a very, very, very important announcement to make by the end of the class. So please stick with me till the end. Very important announcement. Okay. So let's start off with the revision from yesterday's class. Making one feel constrained or oppressed. Is it pluralist, exacerbate, deputation, or stifling? What is it? Devanshi, I've taken the one on our fundamental rights and duties. Okay, so I'm going to do that, Arshia. I'm going to do that in the first week of February. Yes, I'm going to do that. No, Alia, that's going to happen. The 12:30 class is going to happen. It's going to be stifling. Yes, it's going to be stifling. Correct. The answer is D. Some people may have thought exacerbate is a close word because it has a negative connotation, but no, the answer has to be stifling. The next word, make something more concrete or real that initially was abstract. Is it ratify? Is it eloquent? Is it reify? Is it rectify? What is it? 3 similar sounding words, 3 homonyms here. What is it? Rectify? Ratify? Confused? It's reify. It's C. It's not rectify or ratify, but it's reify. Okay, so giving it a shape or reality, happening in reality is reify. Okay, reality se reify yaad kar lena. Okay, next word, distort or corrupt the original course, meaning or state of something. Enumeration, pervert, trample, fiat. What is it? What's our answer? कोई बात नहीं. Pervert, trample. Yes, it is pervert. It isn't trample, it's pervert. Good. I think my video team did a very good job making close options today. Some of you were confused. The answer is pervert. I told you there are multiple meanings for the word. The one can be this as well. Okay, so that's pervert. Now let's start with today's vocabulary. We've got so many new words that we're going to do today. Okay, and a quick reminder for everyone who's joined me late. I'm going to take 2 articles, both from the Hindu. One article is from yesterday's newspaper and one article is from today's newspaper. Okay, so let's see what is going to be the list of vocabulary today. The first word is a communique. Communique is basically an official announcement coming from an authority. It could be a law, order, or maybe only an announcement. Okay, usually to the public through media. That's a communique. So the country's foreign ministry issued a communique. They issued an announcement through media to the public. That's a communique. It's the first word. The second word, appraise. Okay, now one is apprise. Next is appraise. Apprise means to inform. But appraise is basically you find out the value of something or the quality of something. That assessment is appraisal. Okay, so there is a need to appraise existing techniques. We need to evaluate it. So evaluation could be a synonym to appraise. Apprise, apprise means to inform. Okay, so ordinance, yes, Nisha, can be for communique. It can be, certainly. Correct. All right, the third word, cornerstone. So when I make a building, okay, so for example, that's the ground floor. A stone that's put here, what is it supposed to do? It's going to support both these walls, is it not? So that stone is a cornerstone. It's basically anything that forms the foundation and supports things over that. That's a cornerstone. So a national minimum wage remain the cornerstone of the policy, remain the foundation that on which we could build multiple other things. That's a cornerstone. Okay, so appraise can be estimate, yes. Gauge, yes. Elevate, no, evaluate would be a better word. Okay, all right. Decree for communicate, yes, Lauren, correct. Bedrock, yes, Amindra, we did it yesterday. Bedrock for cornerstone, correct. Okay, so अभिनव बच्चे, क्योंकि आप लेट आए थे मेरे बच्चे, आप उसी मोमेंट पूछ लिया करेंगे तो मेरे लिए इजी होगा वो सब वर्ड्स रिपीट करना. ओके, which one, Chitra, which one? Which one do I explain again? Okay, keystone can be cornerstone, bedrock, correct. No, it actually does, Alia, but then it's a very positive word. Assess for uprise, yes, Devesh. Communicate can be feared, related word, Shafi. Very good that you're recalling these words. All right, the next one. Why is, okay, you're ready for the fight. You're ready to get into an NL. You grab that seat that's lying down vacant for you for the next target here. So that's why, ready to compete. The athletes were vying for a place in the British team. They were ready to fight. Okay. The last word is elide. Elide is hata dena. Not to mention something is elide. English speakers often elide the vowels completely. They remove it. They don't speak it while writing. They mention it, but while speaking, they omit it. That's elide. Okay. Any more questions? Cornerstone, Chitra, is anything जो कि फाउंडेशन बनाता है जिसपे वॉल्स खड़ी होती हैं. कॉर्नर पे जो स्टोन होता है जिसपे वॉल्स दोनों सपोर्ट होती है वो कॉर्नरस्टोन. तो किसी भी चीज का फाउंडेशन जिसपे आप बाकी चीजें बिल्ड कर सकते हो उस फाउंडेशन की स्टोन को कॉर्नरस्टोन बोलते हैं. ओके, ग्रैपल, यस फॉर वाई, करेक्ट. यस, वी हैव डन दैट ऑलरेडी. हैंकर, करेक्ट. No, certainly not Purva. It can usually be omitting anything. Okay, eradicate, avoid, omit, ये सारे इसके synonyms हो जाते हैं. Absolutely right. Nullify भी हो सकता है देवेश, बिल्कुल सही. Okay, all right. Next slide. जल्दी से screenshot ले लो सब लोग. देखो बच्चे, मेरी classes में time पे आना बहुत जरूरी because usually my classes are long, but then it has so many things going on. Specifically, the first 20-30 minutes are supremely important. Please don't miss out on them. Please do not be late otherwise you're going to suffer later on. Okay, slide number 2, dichotomy. Di means two. Okay, so dichotomy basically placing two contrasting things together like a paradox. Okay, two opposing ideas, dichotomy. So a division or contrast between two things that are of or represented as being opposed or entirely different. A rigid dichotomy between science and mysticism. So they are actually two different fields, opposite completely to each other is dichotomy. So a paradox could be a synonym to dichotomy. Okay. All right. Difference between two groups, yes. Juxtaposition, very good. Yes, juxtaposition. Not deadlock, no. Contrast can be true, but remember it has to be for only two, okay? Yes, Prachi, that's what we're going to take. Juxtaposition ho sakta hai. All right. So next word, contrast ho sakta hai. Adversarial. Adverse से बना adversarial. So किसी भी चीज को oppose करना, किसी भी चीज के against बोलना या कोई एक conflicting situation जो कि situation को और खराब बना सकती है. ठीक है, that's adversarial. The adversarial nature of the two-party system, ये basically two-party system में दो opposition में होते हैं. ठीक है, that's adversarial. आया समझ में सबको? Next word is fidelity. Fidelity में हम dichotomy, contradictory हो सकता है, counterpart हो सकता है. Okay. So चित्रा, dichotomy का मतलब होता है दो चीजें बिल्कुल opposite जो साथ में एग्जिस्ट नहीं कर सकती, करती हैं तो वे बिल्कुल ऑपोजिट होती हैं एक दूसरे के. दैट्स डाइकोटमी. डाई का मतलब क्या होता है? टू. तो दो चीजें अपोजिंग ईच अदर, जैसे पैराडॉक्स होता है, दैट्स डाइकोटमी. ओके. पग्नासिटी फॉर एडवर्सरियल. इशाद, Not really. Yes. Fidelity का root word क्या है? Who's going to tell me what's the root word for fidelity? Yes, Devesh, absolutely right. Antagonistic और opposed to adversarial बिल्कुल बोल सकते हो. Okay, so FID or FED are the two root words which mean faith, like fiduciary, federal, fidelity, infidelity, okay, bona fide, all of these have the same root word. So fidelity is faithfulness to your country, to your spouse, to your friends, any kind of honesty and faithfulness, that's fidelity. He sought only the strictest fidelity to justice. That means your faithfulness to justice, your honesty to justice, no cheating to justice is fidelity. Okay, got the root words, everyone? Yes, faith and fight both, they mean faith. Correct. Correct. Allegiance बोल सकते हो आप, सखी बिल्कुल बोल सकते हो. Okay. Alia, different in the sense that they are opposing. You and I can be different, but we may not be opposing each other. But in dichotomy, they're different because they are opposing each other. Being opposite is the key in dichotomy. Remember that. All right. Okay, so let's come to the last word. Teenus, fragile, very weak, or very less is teenus. So the teenus link between interest rate and investment, because interest rates are so low, there's technically very light, slight, very weak link between the investment and the interest rate according to the sentence. So fragile absolutely can be a synonym for teenus. Yes. Meek, frail. Yes, Lauren. Very good. Lauren, I missed you in my classes. Okay. Epitome for dichotomy? No, 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 no. They are not even related. Okay. Yin and yang could be an example of dichotomy for sure. Yes, correct, Divjot. Okay, oxymoron is an example of dichotomy. Yes, paradox is an example of dichotomy. Subtle, brittle, feeble, frail, negligible, all are synonyms to teenus. Yes, correct. Measly, sare synonyms are very good. Ma'am, can we say oxymoron is a figure of speech that explains dichotomy? Absolutely, yes, Devanshi. I'll explain adversarial again. So adversarial is basically when we are in a conflict because there are two opposing ideas. That conflict because of opposing ideas is adversarial. Because dichotomy and adversarial are related words, you know what article I'm going to do today. I hope, Ragini, that was clear to you. Okay? Muskan, clear adversarial? Alright, let's move to the next slide. जल्दी से स्क्रीनशॉट ले लो स्लाइड नंबर 3 everyone. Last slide, slide number 4. Conscription. Conscription is, okay, when it is a mandate for somebody to serve into their country's armed forces, okay, you have to compulsorily work. That is a conscription. Conscription was extended to married men. That is, married men also have to serve the army here. And thus, okay, sorry, that's a conscription, okay? Coercive, you know what coercion is. All my law aspirants, you should know what coercion is. Who's going to tell me what that is? Can you give me an example of coercion? Forcefully, मुझे ही वोट दोगे और किसी को वोट नहीं दोगे, मेरा ही हिंदू लाइव अटेंड करोगे, नहीं किसी का और अटेंड करोगे. When I use threat or force for making you do something, that's a coercive measure. Okay, yes. Okay. Yes. Extortion, ठीक है. Press ganging, yes. Blackmailing, yes. Correct. Assault. Assault थोड़ा सा मुझे डाउट है, बट कोई बात नहीं, फिर से सब ठीक है. Duress, correct. अच्छा, इतने सारे सिनोनिम आ गए. That means I don't have to teach this word. Okay, ठीक है. So the next one, antithetical, another related word to dichotomy. ध्यान से समझना. Antithetical is putting side by side two ideas, two point of views that are actually contrasting to each other. Anti to each other is antithetical. So antithetical ideas two contrasting ideas put together. Okay, so dichotomy is synonym, could be antithetical. People whose religious beliefs are antithetical to mine, they are opposite to mine. What I believe in your religious view may not necessarily be in coordination with mine. It's opposite to mine. That's antithetical religious view, antithetical idea. Cool, everybody? Okay, arm twisting could be coercive. Very good, Abhinay. Very good, my child. Yes, that could be coercive. Let's move to the next word. Okay. Descent, descent, two different words. Okay, one is descent, that is this descending order, downward movement. So moving or dropping or falling, moving down, that's descent. And one is descent. Okay, so a decent man, decent clothing, that's different. Okay, and the next one is Dissent. This is the third descent. What is this descent? Who's going to tell me that? What does the third descent mean? The one that I've written, Dissent. Coercion can be tyranny. Tyranny is a form of coercive government, yes. Repressive, Devesh, correctly, can be coercive. Rishabh, that's a related word. About Pisippidus, it's a related word. Dissent is to deny, okay. No. Assent is agree. Assent. Assent is agree. Dissent is disagree. Decline or deny. Correct. Correct. Okay. So that was it. Slide number 4. Quickly take a screenshot, everyone. Okay. Now the article that I've taken from today's Hindu, there were a few political lines which I've omitted. If at all there's any line that's left, we're going to omit that. But because the whole idea that is represented in the passage is so beautiful and so nicely written, it can actually become a reading comprehension in either the critical reasoning section or in the English section. So let's start off with the first article today. Let's take the article from today's editorial, okay? So here we go. In conjunction. So we have fundamental rights and we've got fundamental duties as a part of our Constitution. Now, fundamental rights ensure that, for example, I have a freedom of practicing any religion I wish to, and nobody can forcefully ask me to change my religion, and I can follow it with my whole heart. Okay, that's my fundamental right. But then there comes another duty. The duty is that in that case, I shouldn't force anyone else to adopt any religion. That's my duty. I should maintain the religious harmony in my country. That's my duty. Now, if, for example, let's look at the scenarios of our home, our parents maybe, okay? So, वो आपको बोलते हैं कि भैया मैंने तुम्हें ना, for example, I've paid for your school fees. I've provided with a good home to live in. I do everything that you demand. तो आपकी भी ड्यूटी होती है कि आप घर के कुछ रूल्स एंड रेगुलेशंस हैं उनके हिसाब से रहें, ठीक है? जैसे घर में लड़ाई नहीं करना है, कमरा बंद करके म्यूजिक नहीं सुनना है, डिनर टेबल पर साथ में बैठना है, ये कुछ ड्यूटीज है आपकी. घर की प्रोटेक्शन का ध्यान रखना है, ये कुछ ड्यूटीज है आपकी, आपको इनको फुलफिल करनी है. अब अगर आपके पेरेंट्स बोलते हैं कि बहुत राइट एंजॉय कर ली बेटा तुमने, अब राइट तो तुम्हारी बंद होने वाली है और अब ड्यूटी फॉलो करोगे तुम. डज दैट मेक सेंस? अगर ऐसा बोला पेरेंट्स ने दैट ओके बहुत सारी राइट्स मिल गई तुमको, अब तुम अनड्यू एडवांटेज ले रहे हो, अब तुमको सिर्फ ड्यूटी फॉलो करनी, तुम अपनी ड्यूटी नहीं कर रहे हो. किसी पॉइंट पे शायद पेरेंट्स का ये बोलना जस्टिफाइड हो सकता है, बट एट सम पॉइंट इट मे एक्चुअली बी रॉन्ग बिकॉज दे गो hand in hand. When I say I have the liberty to adopt any religion and follow that, I may change mine as well. There's another thing that comes into the scene that I should ensure everybody and in the country there's a harmony of following the religion. Okay, so both of these things, they go in conjunction with each other. So fundamental rights and fundamental duties, there's a conjunction between them, there's a balance between them. In the absence of one, the other goes down or goes up. That's the case with the other way around as well. So in the absence of duty, The rights are waste. In the absence of rights, the duty is completely useless. Now that is what exactly the article talks about. Let's understand the fundamental principle that is being discussed here. Yes, they should always go hand in hand. Correct. And see, remember guys, into our constitution, there's no obligation for you to follow a fundamental duty. You are expected to do that. It's an expectation of the constitution out of you. But it isn't a compulsion कि नहीं करोगे तो कुछ हो जाएगा. Okay? उस पे अलग laws बने हुए हैं. So let's understand this, everyone. Okay. So here we go. The evolution of a democratic society is centered around the expansion of rights. Yes, our whole constitution basically ensures that maximum amount of rights are given to each individual. Initially, when our constitution was framed, we had fewer rights than we have today. That right to information, right to education, they were added on to our fundamental rights. Initially, they were only civil, political, economic, cultural, all the rights have to be ensured. Maximum rights given to everybody, leading to the empowerment of the people. And that is exactly, empowerment of people is exactly what our constitution is. That's the cornerstone of our constitution. Democratic nations respect individual and group rights for moral and instrumental reasons. Of course, instrumental reasons, that's the judiciary. Moral reason, people and their morality. Duties, both legal and moral. You've got some legal duties where there are laws, and then there are some moral duties where there are no laws but it's expected out of you, are cherished in order to reinforce those rights. अब rights का reinforcement के लिए आपको duties बनाई गई, ठीक है? So technically rights और strengthen होते हैं आपकी duties जब fulfill होती हैं तो, ठीक है? So जब example देखो घर वाला, at your home, when you ensure that my father expects me to sit down at the dinner table with him and I do that, he's going to ensure that my rights are fulfilled as well. He's going to be a happy man, right? When I ensure that I don't close my doors and play music throughout the day, I help my mom with the job, I help my father with cleaning the house, I ensure, that's my duty. My parents are going to ensure that my rights are fulfilled. I'm not denied or devoid of my rights. That's exactly how a country functions. Your duties strengthen your rights. The obligations of the individual to collective must be understood in that context. Rights and duties complement each other, just as responsibility comes with freedom. Freedom मिला है तो responsibility तो आएगी. अब आपको freedom मिला है speech का, does not mean you can go and abuse anybody or you can go and get into hate speech or incite violence or incite communal disharmony. So it's your responsibility, it's your duty to abide by that, to ensure that this fundamental right is not misused by anybody. So with freedom comes responsibility, and that responsibility is your duty. Now, ये एक political line है, इसको हम छोड़ देते हैं कि क्या बोला, किसने बोला, इसको हम छोड़ देते हैं. ये वो पापा वाले एग्जाम्पल से लिंक करके समझ लेना. एक बार जल्दी से इसको पढ़ लो. I'm not going to explain that because I will not get into any political discussion here. Quickly read this line, everyone. Done? Okay? All right. So, services and sacrifices of nameless, faceless nation builders have formed the bedrock of the modern Indian Republic. Yes, services, 3 years of debating, formulating our constitution, getting it into effect, ensuring equality to everyone, foundation and cornerstone that everybody is equal, every person has one vote and one value, and sacrifices of so many people that has framed our republic today. But their sacrifices were indeed for rights, dignity, and autonomy of the nation. That is what they wanted to ensure. Any notion of rights and duties being adversarial and hierarchical is sophistic. Sophistic technically means the idea of philosophy. Sophie. Okay, let me break the word. Phil, love, Sophie, logic. So basically sophistic is the idea of, it's only philosophical, that rights and duties are adversarial, they're opposite to each other. That's only philosophical. The Indian Constitution enshrines equality and freedom as fundamental rights, along with the right against exploitation, freedom of religion, culture, education rights, and the right to constitutional remedies. These were our fundamental rights. The deepening of Indian democracy has led to the expansion of rights. We have education and information privacy. That's There are the new rights that had been added to the older rights that we have. So ever expanding rights. That's what our vision is, that maximum rights given to maximum number of people are now legally guaranteed rights. So right to information and the right to education, right to privacy. The state's fidelity to these rights, that is faithfulness to these rights, is tenuous at best. Citizens are generally duty bound to protect the integrity and the sovereignty of the country, and this is true for India, though there is no conscription. Okay, now I'm not going to tell you what our fundamental rights and fundamental duties are. You, as a law aspirant, you even if are not a law aspirant, even if you are a basic normal layman citizen of the country, you need to know that. So I'll not get into that. I did not bring that GK for you today. Other constitutional duties expect. So what are expectations out of you for your duty? They expect you to promote harmony, brotherhood, develop scientific temper, humorism, inquiry, protecting the nature, justice, and everything. All of these are your fundamental duties, right? Any shift in state policy, emphasis from rights to duties will be absurd. If our policies, if our center, if our governance moves its attention from rights to duties, it's going to be absurd, because duty, some are legally bound, which are legally bound, you follow them. Some which aren't, it's only a guideline given to you. Okay? And the job of the state is only and only to ensure that the rights are ever expanding. And when there are proper rights, they have to ensure that the duty comes along with that and not coercively. And enlightened citizenry is critical to progress and good governance. But duty is not something that the citizens owe to the state. We need to remember that. Okay? ये कोई deliberately, it comes from your heart. Okay? As a citizen of the country, you know this is at the best interest. But you're not supposed to do it. You're not forcefully supposed to do it. The obligation of individual citizen to the collective pursuit of nation can be meaningful when the rights are guaranteed by the state. When will I feel obligatory for me to fulfill my duties? Only and only when my rights are ensured. Rights नहीं है तो ड्यूटी का कोई वैल्यू नहीं है. तो तालिबान बन जाएगा, राइट नहीं और ड्यूटी है तो फिर तो तालिबान बन जाएगा ना इंडिया. The citizen has a right to use a public road. Good example. And my duty is to obey traffic rules. But they go hand in hand. If there are no roads, what traffic rules am I going to follow? They go hand in hand. That's your right and that's your duty. Missing of the right can never ensure duty. But yes, it's something you are expected to. If you violate that, then there are fines. The right and the duty are meaningful only in conjunction. The Prime Minister's comments, oh, let's not read that. Let's not read that. Let's look at the last line. The emphasis on duty along with the de-emphasis on rights also raises the specter of a descent into pre-republican norms in social relation. ऐसा लग रहा है हम रिपब्लिक बनने से पहले के टाइम पे जा रहे हैं. अगर राइट्स पे कम ध्यान दिया जाता है, de-emphasis on rights and emphasis only on duties, तो हम pre-republic era में चले जाएंगे. हमारा 72 years of republic waste हो जाएगा. The celebration of India as a traditionally duty-driven society carries with it the inescapable connotation of an exploitative division of labor and norms that are antithetical to constitutionalism. Needless to say, that is not progress. What's our tone of the author? These are moral obligations, Kashvi, they certainly are. Okay? What's our tone, everyone? What do you think is the tone of the author? Everybody in the app on YouTube. But if we don't do duties, then how will they make us do? If we will not take advantage and ignore our duties, ma'am, Sakhi, then there are certain laws. So if you break traffic rules, then you'll be punished. You are expected to do that. But then our duty is enough without the absence of ensuring your rights. That's the whole point of the passage. It's critical. It's critical. Wopsy and everyone else who's watching me for the first time here, do two things. One, subscribe to the channel. Two, share the video with other people. Three, please watch my videos on tone of the author. I'll be coming up with a new video on tone of the author in the first week of February. Okay? So, Concerning and critical is our tone here. Let me move to the next article, everyone, very quickly. This article that I've taken is from, yes, it can be lampooning as well. It is not informative, it's lampooning. Why is he explaining all this? Expository, because he wants to criticize. Let's come to the other article. A stellar fallacy. Stellar, full of stars. Look at that. But then there's a fallacy. What is a fallacy? Who's going to tell me that? What's a fallacy? No, technically, it's going to be critical only. Exactly. That does it says they both go hand in hand. What's a fallacy? And it's a stellar one. Just look at that. What is stellar performance? Just look at that. What a fallacy? Just look at that. What does a fallacy mean? A flaw. Yes, it's a flaw. Okay? That's a flaw. Correct. So, assessment of environmental cost, benefits of projects should not be done in haste. Now, there is a new scheme that our government is planning into, and that is industries, according to their size, will be given rating of stars. Do you see fridge, ACs with star ratings, 5-star ratings, according to the energy consumption it does? A similar rating would be given to industries, depending upon different points, okay? And that rating would be according to how much impact they're giving on the environment. 5-star, lowest impact. 0-star, maximum impact on the environment. Good idea, very good. But then it has a big loophole. This whole idea of giving 5 stars to industries, depending upon their size, depending upon their impact on the environment. There's a big loophole. Let's understand what is the big loophole in the whole idea of giving stars. Okay? So, here we go. Just a minute. So, that's why they call it a fallacy. A move by the Union Environment Ministry to implement a star rating system has sparked controversy after one of its official communiques became public. So, उन्होंने communicate किया कि हम rating देंगे. It became public and then it started getting criticism for that. Why? Let's see. Under this scheme, state-level environment committees that apprise industries' projects on their potential environment risk. So, these state-level committees will check on industries and the kind of risk they pose on the environment. And according to the risk they pose, they are going to incentivize or give ratings, the star ratings to each industry. The pointers on which they would be rated would be transparency, efficiency, and accountability. Okay, fair enough. Good idea. This idea followed a union cabinet meeting this month to facilitate the government's broader commitment to ease of doing business. अब देखो, उन्होंने क्या किया? 2 चीजों को लिंक कर दिया. पहला, rating on the basis of how much impact you are going to have on the environment. And 2, how easy for you is it to doing business? How are they even related? Can you think of it? How are they even related? How is ease of doing business related to the star rating system? Who's going to tell me that? Yeah, Abhinay, that's right. Rating a class is similar. So, how are you going to do that? What is the relationship? Do you understand that? Nobody? No idea? We had this yesterday, this article. No? Okay, let me explain that. Let me explain that. The environmental impact assessment is one of the cornerstones of ensuring that the ecological cost of infrastructure development is minimal. Your impact on ecology, negative impact on ecology has to be minimum. The lesser, the better your stars are, obviously. But ये एक और चीज पे डिपेंडेंट है जो इंश्योर करेगा ease of doing business. देखो किस चीज पे डिपेंडेंट है. Oh, just a minute, this. If they reduce the environmental risk, how would they manage to work easily? Okay. More star means more business. Yes, certainly. They are not a low rating may demoralize them from doing business. Okay. More star is best. Yes, certainly. Okay. Prospective projects about a certain size and with the potential to significantly alter the natural environment must be first approved by the State Environment Impact Assessment Authority comprising state officers and independent experts. देखो इनका प्रोसेस क्या है, ये जो आपको 5 स्टार रेटिंग मिलेगी, इसके लिए सबसे पहले the agencies, the state would recognize those industries which are huge in size and which can visibly impact the ecology and the environment surrounding it. और उन इंडस्ट्रीज को आप सबसे पहले उस कमिटी के अंडर सुपरविजन में लेके आओगे, वो कमिटी उसको पास करेगी, वो एक्सपर्ट्स उसको पास करेंगे और फिर उसको रेटिंग दे दी जाएगी. प्रोजेक्ट्स दैट आर इवन बिगर और इन्वॉल्व फॉरेस्ट लैंड कैटेगरी ए अकॉर्डिंग टू द साइज, जो थोड़े छोटे हैं उनको SEIAA सुपरवाइज करेगा, जो थोड़े बड़े हैं दे मस्ट बी क्लियर्ड बाय एन एक्सपर्ट कमिटी फॉर्म्ड बाय द सेंटर. जहां फॉरेस्ट कवर में आ जाता है उनको सेंटर अप्रूव करेगा. SEIAA projects make up the bulk of projects for approving, including building, construction, small mining, small industry project, and are considered less polluting. So, जो ज़्यादा polluting हो सकते हैं, the center will approve them. The less polluting ones like mining and industries and buildings, the SEIAA would approve them. Now comes the whole hitch here. The star rating system proposed is to rank and incentivize states on how quickly and efficiently they can accord environmental clearances. That is, अगर SEIAA बहुत जल्दी अप्रूव कर देता है किसी इंडस्ट्री को तो उसको ज्यादा रेटिंग मिल जाएगी, और अगर SEIAA लेट अप्रूव करता है किसी चीज को तो उसको कम रेटिंग मिल जाएगी. तो ऑब्वियसली ज्यादा रेटिंग के लिए SEIAA किसी भी चीज को जल्दी अप्रूव करेगा. And when you do that in a haste, what's going to happen? You may overlook a lot of things. There are going to be a lot of loopholes. So the whole idea of quicker the approval, better the rating is a flawed one. Did you guys understand what is the flaw here? Understood, everybody? Understood? Now, why quicker the approval, better the rating is necessary here? Because of the ease of doing business idea in our country. So the idea is to promote my country as a country which is very easy with the idea of doing business, because everything is approved so quickly. See, SEIAA did it so quickly. The quicker they do it, the better the rating is. And then come the loopholes. You're going to omit so many things. Yes? Divjot, Riya, aaya samajh mein? I'll repeat it once again, last time. मेरा कंट्री, हिंदी में समझा रही हूँ, मेरे कंट्री में ईज ऑफ डूइंग बिजनेस एक आइडिया है जिसको मैं प्रमोट कर रही हूँ. ईज ऑफ डूइंग बिजनेस क्या होता है? हैसल फ्री होता है. गवर्नमेंट ऑर्गेनाइजेशन से अगर मुझे अप्रूवल ले लो तो बहुत जल्दी काम हो जाता है. ये जो पुराना SBI के लाइन में लगे रहो वैसी चीजें नहीं होती है, सब कुछ इंटरनेट पे ऑनलाइन हो गया है. इसी चीज को प्रमोट करने के लिए गवर्नमेंट ने बोला कि जो SEIAA आपको रेटिंग देगा, जितनी जल्दी SEIAA स्टेट्स आपको रेटिंग देंगे उतना ज्यादा आपका स्टार होगा. तो स्टेट भी आपको जल्दी रेटिंग देगा, ये बताने के लिए कि ठीक है ज्यादा स्टार मिल रहा है हम लोगों को. और इससे क्या प्रमोट होगा? इससे प्रमोट होगा ईज ऑफ डूइंग बिजनेस. लेकिन क्या इस जल्दी रेटिंग देने के हेस्टी डिसीजन में बहुत सारी चीजें ओमिट हो सकती हैं उन गवर्नमेंट ऑफिशियल से? वो बहुत सारी चीजों को ओवरलुक कर सकते हैं, बहुत सारे इंस्पेक्शन करे बिना अप्रूवल दे सकते हैं. बिल्कुल दे सकते हैं, और यही लूप होल है इस पूरे रेटिंग सिस्टम में. तो आइडिया अच्छा है कि हमें प्रमोट करना है ईज ऑफ डूइंग बिजनेस अलॉन्ग विद लीस्ट एनवायरमेंटल इंपैक्ट, लेकिन क्योंकि स्पीड को बढ़ाने के चक्कर में हमारे SEIAA के एम्प्लॉइज और गवर्नमेंट ऑफिशियल्स लैक्स हो सकते हैं, ये हमें नेगेटिवली इंपैक्ट करेगा. ओके, सो हियर वी गो. सो इट स्पेल्स आउट 7 क्राइटेरिया. 7 क्राइटेरिया है SEIAA के पास जिस पे रैंकिंग होगी. ट्रांसपेरेंसी, एफिशिएंसी एंड अकाउंटेबिलिटी आर 3 of them. Okay. On the scale of 7, the SEIAA, for instance, gets more points for granting clearance in less than 80 days. सो बेसिकली SEIA को भी रेटिंग मिलेगी, पॉइंट्स मिलेंगे अगर उन्होंने 80 डेज से पहले किसी चीज को पास कर दिया, और 105 से ज्यादा में करेंगे तो कोई भी मार्क नहीं मिलेगा. तो ऑब्वियसली एवरीबडी वुड वांट टू गेट इट डन विद इन 80 डेज, क्योंकि उसके लिए पॉइंटर्स मिलेंगे उनको. ठीक है, और अगर आपके 7 पॉइंट्स हो गए तो आपको 5 स्टार मिल जाएगी रेटिंग. ये उनका बेसिक कैलकुलेशन है यहाँ. Now, however, a reading of the order gives the impression that the states, in the quest for more stars, her state would logically vie for speedily clearing project rather than ensuring a thorough appraisal. They would say, ठीक है, thorough investigation की जरूरत नहीं, जल्दी पास करो, 5 स्टार रेटिंग मिलेगी, पॉइंटर मिलेगा उसके लिए. बिकॉज अगर 105 दिन प्लस हो गए तो कोई पॉइंटर नहीं मिलेगा. सो विद इन 80 डेज इसको पास करना है हमको. The Environment Ministry has said in response to the criticism that the intention is not to hasten clearance but accelerate the pace of decision making. Agreed. Decision making fast होगा, but वो decision making flawed हो सकता है, ये लोगों का criticism है. Rather than files being sent back for every query. देखो ऐसा होता था कि अगर एक फाइल आई है and you read that as a government official and you think there is a loophole, you send it back, right? And you then send an inquiry. But rather than doing that, all objections must be compiled and addressed at one go. ऐसा लगता है कि एक बार में सारा करके क्लियर कर दो. While quicker decisions making benefits everyone, state committees are currently hampered by having too few independent experts and decision making being left to bureaucrats than to environment specialists. Environmental specialist हमारे पास कम है, तो decision making कौन करेगा? Bureaucrats करेंगे. अगर ब्यूरोक्रेट्स को डिसीजन मेकिंग करनी है तो क्या होगा, ये आप भी जानते हो और मैं भी जानती हूँ. Both industrialists and states gain from projects, and therefore the tendency is always to elide environmental concerns. In many instances, site visits are critical to understand the potential environment challenges. But who does the site visits? Bureaucrats? Maybe not, because they have to pass it within 80 days. Calculating the risk and the benefit of industrial projects VOE, their environmental impact, is understandably hard, and that's going to take time. The way forward is to take steps to increase trust in the system and ensure that all states have complete experts who can conduct appraisal without fear or favor. We need to increase the number of environmental experts who can do this process within 80 days. Who can do it effectively. A list of empty rankings is the least advisable way to bring about. ये सबसे पहले एक empty ranking की लिस्ट निकाल लो और उसके लिए हायरिंग स्टार्ट करो. ये तो सबसे पहले करने वाली चीज है. What is the tone of the author, my children? What is the tone of the author? Yes, Movies, yes. Okay. Concerning. Yes, concerning. नहीं, more than critical, it's concerning. Okay? कि वो ये बता रहा है कि ये the whole process, इसमें क्या flaws हैं, ठीक है, और क्या किया जा सकता है. But if there's no time limit, then it will never happen. Exactly, Erica. But then understand, my child, when there's a decision taken by government, there are two perspectives of it. We need to evaluate it critically, always, any decision taken by the government. Because if there's no critical evaluation, what are we going to become? We're going to become blind followers. And that's not how a democracy grows to be a more developed one. So if there's any better way of dealing with the problem, we can do that. A better way would be stick to the 80 days routine, but hire efficient staff, experts, instead of letting bureaucrats do that. Okay? And that's how debating ensures that our democracy is sustainable. I hope you understand that. Okay? Alright, guys. So it's concerning here. देखो, analytical भी है, concerning भी है. He's analyzing the whole process. और concerning इसलिए because ये जो decision है author उसके favor में नहीं है. Author उसको criticize कर रहा है यहाँ. तो आप critical, concerning, analytical तीनों mark कर सकते हो. Okay? Alright, guys. I'm going to share today's Hindu and Indian Express in the background. Let's see what are the important articles that we need to do. But before that, two important things. ठीक है, अब सब बहुत ध्यान दो. What am I going to say right now? कल मैंने 12:30 BBA YouTube चैनल ऑफ BYJU'S एग्जाम प्रेप पे रीडिंग कॉम्प्रिहेंशन का फर्स्ट क्लास लिया. ठीक है, टुडे इज माय सेकंड क्लास Everyone who did not watch the first class, आज first class देख के second class में 12:30 BBA YouTube platform पे आ जाना, ठीक है? So that is first thing. Second thing, कल 26 जनवरी है, रिपब्लिक डे है, तो छुट्टी है और मेरी छुट्टी थोड़ी लंबी है. I'm not going to take classes from tomorrow till Sunday. Wednesday to Sunday I'll be on a break. I wouldn't take the Hindu classes. ठीक है? तो आपको ही पेपर पढ़ना है और बहुत ध्यान से पढ़ना है. During these days मुझे जो लगता है important articles आए हैं, I'll try to put some short videos. I'll try to, okay? But if that's not possible for me, then I'll catch you back on Monday. But make sure you are regular with the classes, okay? Fair enough? थोड़ा ब्रेक तो मुझे बनता है ना. ओहो, Wednesday to Sunday. ऐसे मत करो यार. I'm not going anywhere. I'm going to come back on Monday, okay? All right? राउंड अप दे दूंगी. डन डील. राउंड अप रोज पोस्ट कर दूंगी, okay? I'll do the short videos. Just watch the roundups, okay? अरे why? I deserve a break. Okay, जल्दी से आप चलो इंडियन एक्सप्रेस और हिंदू देख लेते हैं, okay? Okay. Let's look at the Hindu and Indian Express. Changati Yashasvi. Good suggestion. I can start doing that, my child. Okay, let me. Changati, have you subscribed to the channel yet? Let me open up today's Hindu and Indian Express now. Let's see the important articles. Changati, that's what I'm going to do now. Quickly, I hope it's visible in the background. Okay, so just a minute. One second, guys. Yeah, here we go. Happy Republic Day in advance, everyone. Okay. All right. चलिए आर्टिकल्स देखते हैं. What is important? जल्दी से, very quickly. In conjunction आज हमने कर लिया है और इसीलिए मैं आज का आर्टिकल लेके आई थी. मैंने कल क्लास बना लिया था, but in the morning when I read this article, I said this has to be taken. So that's why I have taken today's article. Second one, not mild for all. Okay, now see, this article is basically about the massive Omicron spread. और सबने सोचा कि माइल्ड है, कुछ नहीं, जुकाम खांसी ठीक हो जाएगा, और अब वो कम्युनिटी स्प्रेड बन गया. स्टे सेफ एवरीवन. ठीक है, रीड दैट आर्टिकल. टैकलिंग द ओमिक्रॉन वेव, गेटिंग फ्यूचर रेडी. अच्छा, ऐसी भी न्यूज आ रही है कि ये ओमिक्रॉन के बाद जो वायरस है वो सिर्फ एक नॉर्मल फ्लू बन के रह जाएगा, लोग उससे इतना बीमार नहीं पड़ेंगे. ये एंड है इस पैंडेमिक का. और आज सुबह WHO की वार्निंग आ गई है कि ये गलत एनालिसिस है, ऐसा नहीं हो सकता जरूरी. So please read this article. Dealing with macroeconomic uncertainties. बजट आने वाला है और ये आर्टिकल बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट है. आप लोग प्लीज बजट के बारे में पढ़ना स्टार्ट कर दो, नहीं तो बजट जब आएगा कुछ भी समझ नहीं आएगा. Please read this article. Let's look at the next page of editorial. The devastating impact of school closure. हमने इस पे बहुत सारे आर्टिकल्स किए हैं क्लास में कि स्कूल्स बंद है इतने टाइम से तो उनका क्या इम्पैक्ट होगा. ओके, सो दिस is an important one if you don't know about that, but if you're comfortable with something of this sort, you could just quickly skim through it. Okay, India needs a national vision. Yes. Yes, please read this. That's all from this. Let's look at the text and context. After effects of misplaced comments. Skim about Germany's Navy chief. Skim. The challenges of antimicrobial resistance. Skim. जिसके पास text and context नहीं आता, I'll share this. Okay, right away. Okay. Download it. I'll share this in our BYJU'S exam prep Lord or discussion group right away after the class ends. ठीक है, इसको जरूर पढ़ना, इस पे जरूर आर्टिकल बन सकता है. Let's look at the opinions. Okay, why India must engage with Myanmar? Skim. Finance Minister should strike fine balance in the budget. Again, एक आर्टिकल पढ़ लेना हिंदू या इंडियन एक्सप्रेस में से कि बजट कैसा होना चाहिए, बट पढ़ लेना. The fraudulent seeds, bitter fruits of antics. Oh yes. बिल्कुल पढ़ना इसको आप. Okay. Historic judgment underscores how corruption marked UPA government's decision making. Okay. Helping Indian economy down the road to recovery. Yes. Read this article. Yes. Thich Nhat Hanh's teachings will continue. Correct. India's challenge in European geopolitics. Leave this. By disallowing students from wearing headscarf, Karnataka college discriminates while its law. बिल्कुल पढ़ना है. COVID-19 pandemic has widened economic inequalities. Yes, inequities. Yes, read that. That's all. Look at the explained page. Omicron's radical evolution. Yes, read this. No political ones. COVID-19 pandemic. Yes, health. Can your ancestors' smoking habit have harmful effect on your health? Yes. Why? Effort to help Afghanistan is falling short? Yes. Nusrat Ghani, the UK Parliament, who claimed skim. That's all from today's Indian Express. I'll be sharing this article in the Telegram group, everybody. Okay. Thank you so much, everyone. And paper nahi hai to subscription lo movies. Okay, thank you so much, everyone. I'll see you at 12:30, everybody. And for people who are not going to see me at 12:30, Happy Republic Day. Eat laddus and bask in the glory of our 72nd year of completion of our republic and the finalizing of our constitution, which ensures that you and I are free. And that's all, everyone. Have a very, very good day. God bless all of you.